Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Yvette. I'm a college advisor by day and a life coach by night. Today I'm going to talk about the process of buying my first condo 3 years ago at the age of 25. If you're interested, stay tuned. One of my motivations for buying a property was reading a lot of books that helped me to align my focus. One of them was The Millionaire Next Door. If you haven't read it, it's definitely a really good read, an easy read. I'll leave the link down in the description box below. It helped me to kind of stay focused on what my goals were. Buying a condo was the best decision of my life. It is the best starter home for a single person with no kids, and it was also the most affordable option for me. Being from the New York City area, one of the first things that I considered was which borough I wanted to buy the condo in. Manhattan was out of the question. I definitely couldn't afford anything in Manhattan. I thought about Brooklyn, but Brooklyn also wasn't really affordable for me. They also had houses, and I didn't really want a house. I was looking for a condo. And then I tried Queens, which I really wanted to live in Queens, but there were, from my research, a lot more co-ops, and I didn't really find as many condos. So that kind of left me with the Bronx because I didn't really look at Staten Island at all. Then the next step was getting pre-approved by the bank. So before you meet with the realtor, it's important to get the pre-approval because that shows the realtor that you're serious and you're not just window shopping. And so that's what I did. The pre-approval is when the bank uses different factors to determine how much of a loan that they will give you. So of course with that is included your credit score, how much money you have, and a lot of other things. I had a really good credit score. It was probably in the high 700s or 800. And I know that's not a reality for a lot of people that's looking to buy a property. And nowadays they make it a little bit easier to see how to improve your credit score and what factors are affecting it. So I would definitely recommend looking into that and seeing what areas you can improve. Some parts take a longer time than others. They do factor in how long you've had a certain account for. So definitely try to look into it as early as possible so you could fix it as soon as possible if you do have a low credit score. For a $140,000 condo, which is what my budget was, I was pre-approved for $126,000 based on a 10% down payment and a 4.5 interest rate. So the interest rate could be fixed, which means that it would stay at that interest rate throughout your whole loan. Or you can have it fluctuate with the market, and I didn't want that, so I had like a fixed interest rate. I also asked if they had an early payoff fee. For some banks, if you pay off your loan earlier, they charge you a fee for that, and I didn't want to go through that if I decided to pay off my loan early, and so they said they didn't. When you start the process, everything that's deposited into your account has to be accounted for, which was pretty interesting. So if you just have like a large sum of like $12,000 out of nowhere deposited, they're gonna ask you where that came from and question it. You can process it as a gift, but you can't just like have money coming in without an explanation once the process actually starts. The next step was meeting with the realtor, and this is where it gets fun. So my realtor was from my neighborhood, so he was already familiar with it, and that was really helpful. I told him everything that I wanted and didn't want, so he knew exactly what I was looking for. I decided to get a condo from my neighborhood because it was the most affordable, and I also was familiar with the area, so I knew exactly what I wanted. Usually this process takes a long time because you are looking at what's available and if you like it or not, but thank God he knew of a condo that wasn't on the market yet, and he figured from what I was telling him that I might like it. So then we went to go see it. As we were walking to the place, I kind of already knew that I would like it because he already had told me the floor and everything that I was looking for. It was kind of already lining up. And then as soon as we went, I was like, yeah, no, this is it. He's like, you don't want to see the rest of it? Like the bedroom, the bathroom? I'm like, no, this is it. Like, I already know this is it. So I was immediately on top of him. Like, did you call the owner? What did the owner say? And I just want to emphasize that I already knew the layout of the condo. I already knew what to look for. My only concern was the kitchen, and there was 2 different type of layouts for the kitchen. So as long as it was the layout I wanted for the kitchen, I really wasn't concerned about anything else. But definitely when you're looking for at a property, you always want to check everywhere and make sure that everything is good. And I did eventually. Just at that moment, I just already knew, like, let's get this started. So he spoke with the owner, and she wanted $145,000, and that was way above market value. So I negotiated for $135,000, But she kind of wasn't really budging. She was just like thinking about it, like, I don't know about that. I want 145. So we kind of was just like, okay, like going with the 135. And then he ends up calling me a few days later and he says that there's this other guy who is willing to pay the 145, and so she is going with him. I was devastated. I was just so sad because I just knew it was mine, and I just kind of felt like, dang, this sucks because it's not worth paying that much when I knew it wasn't worth that much. But at the same time, I was so desperate and I really wanted it, but I knew that if it was meant to be, at that point, I just was praying to God and I was telling myself that if God wants this for me, he already has my name on it and this is mine, you know? But if not, there's a reason why it's not going to work out. And then I was just going to move out of New York because I was not going to be able to deal. So, of course, with every good thing, there's going to be roadblocks. And so I was devastated. And then luckily, a few days later, he calls me back and he's like, the guy actually, I guess, was playing games. He said that he was going to pay the 145, but then when it really came down to it and they started the process, he was trying to go negotiate to 135, which is what I wanted. So then the lady, the owner, she was just frustrated. So she said, you know what, I want to give it to the young lady because she was genuine from the beginning and I'd just rather work with her. So it was lit. I was so happy. Like once they decided that we were going to do it, I gave them everything they needed as quick as possible. It had to be the fastest closing that they ever dealt with, because if they emailed me at 11:01 like, oh, we need your passport, 11:02 sent it. Oh, we need your sent it. Like, I was not playing any games. I didn't want her to change her mind. I didn't want anything bad. I just wanted to get this done. And closings take a long time. So realistically, we started the process in early April and we ended in July. So it actually did take a while, but I was making sure that the ball was rolling. There were so many things that had to be done. So every time something happened or something needed to be done, I was on top of it. Then there was another roadblock. The bank had to appraise the property, which is basically when they hire someone to look at the property and see what it's really worth. So an owner can sell a property for however much they want to sell it for, but the appraiser is the person that decides what the property is worth based on the neighborhood, the renovations, the value of everything. So when they appraised the condo, they appraised it for $128,000. And the bank was only willing to give me what it was appraised for. So even though the condo was selling for $135, the bank was only going to give me $128. It ended up being fine because that $7,000 I also put towards the down payment as well. In total for the down payment, I put about $20,000 down. And because that's not 20% of the property value, I had to get a PMI insurance, which is a private mortgage insurance to protect the bank. Normally, you really want to put down 20%. That's ideal. And I really wish I could have, but I was, again, desperate. But also, my PMI is only $30 for 8 years. So I felt like that wasn't a big deal. For me, this was the best decision. So here's the thing. The way that I saw it, I felt like my income wasn't going to increase at the same rate as the market. So the longer I waited to purchase a property like this one, the higher it would have been later on. And my income was not going to reach that level of being able to save enough for the property. I knew the time was now. I knew I couldn't wait. I knew even by that next year, the value was going to go up so much. So an overview of the cost, because I know I threw out a lot of numbers. The condo was $135,000. The loan amount ended up being about $115,000. And then the closing cost, which doesn't go towards the down payment, that's just a separate cost. It was about $7,000 for me. Altogether, it pretty much was about $30,000 of cash that I needed, because you have to account for all the little fees that happened throughout the process. The appraisal itself was about $500, and the lawyer fees. So you have to have a lawyer. It was a lot of different factors that I had to pay for. So the good thing was, since it was from April to July, I got paychecks throughout that time, and I was able to put that towards like the down payment, everything that I had. So after I bought the property, I was broke, like literally done, zero broke. And that was it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it down in the comment box below. I will definitely answer them. I could even do another video with answering questions about the condo process. If you help me get to 1,000 subscribers, I can do a condo tour. A lot of people think that all New York City area apartments are super small and boxes, but I do have my own separate kitchen, my own separate living room and bedroom, and it's a big enough space. In my next video, I'm going to share how I Airbnb'd my apartment after I bought it. And if you don't want to miss that, you want to make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.